Hey, it's Active Recovery Day. I know sometimes you're like, this is easy. It's supposed to be easy. This is the wind up for the punch tomorrow. So make sure you get your recovery in. Let's get after it.
All right, gang, let's start off with a nice deep lunge here. So you're gonna stand up and just take a big step back, sinking down. And we're gonna do this for the whole minute, so just hang in there. So nice big step back and big step up. So as you can, as I get into this lunge, notice my hip kind of comes down towards my heel. Don't keep your butt high. See if you can drop the hip on that front leg down towards the front heel. Yeah. If you can as well, think about pushing that front knee forward over the toes. So we're getting a bit of a stretch through the ankle and like the Achilles section there. The Achilles area on the back of the ankle. You get it. And we've got about 20 seconds. Like I said, this is just a minute of just moving, getting this nice deep lunge in the ankle, the knee, and the hip warmed up. We got about 10 seconds to go, so keep hanging in there. Nice deep lunge back and forth. And then next up, we're going to get into some nice squats. All right, let's switch it. All right, let's get into these monkey squats. So this is the one where we drop in, fingers under toes, hips up, hips down, hands up, and stand up. This is probably one of my favorite warm-ups because it's just really, you get the hamstrings opened up. It feels good to stretch, but then really getting those shoulders open. Wow. Now, you don't have to drop as low into the squat as I do. If you can go ass to grass and get your hips nice and deep in the squat, please do. But if it feels weird for you, if you can't go that low, that's fine as well. Go as low as you can go. And same thing with that stretch. If you get your fingers under your toes and you can't straighten your legs, that is quite all right. I can't really either. But you just get them as straight as you can go, right? And that's fine. So just remember, get your arms all the way up overhead before you stand up. Don't get your hips moving until those arms get locked in overhead. Take them up and you, yeah, there. Let's get one more in. Nice little squat, stretch, hands up, stand up, and let's go on to some lunges and kicks. All right, this one starts off in a lunge, and then as we stand, we're gonna swing that back leg up and kick. Now you're gonna take your opposite arm and nice big circle up and around. Nice big shoulder circle as you reach out and try to tap your toes. Now, if you can't quite reach your foot, that's fine. Slap your leg, whatever. And don't worry about how high you can kick. You know, like I said, flexibility is all relative to who you are. So if you're only kicking a little bit high, that's fine, as long as you're getting a nice little dynamic stretch through the back of that leg. 30 seconds in, we're switching legs, and we're doing opposite leg, opposite arm. Now, as you notice, we're on one leg, so it's a little bit of balance involved here, right? A little bit of stability while we warm that front leg up, and we warm the balance up too. See, whoop, whoop. Oh, see, I almost ate it there. You see that? You see that? I almost ate shit, but I kept it. I saved it. I'm still on my feet, right? So it's good. All right, let's go ahead and hit the floor. We're going to do some bridges next. So the bridge is where we lay down on the floor, and we're going to cross one leg over this time. So then we're just going to drive the heel into the floor, lift the hip, and then push down on that opposite leg. So my right leg is on top of my left. I'm going to work on pushing that right knee down towards the floor, opening the hips. Now, what we don't want here is that right hip dropping towards the floor. Keep your pelvis neutral, so kind of flat. Like you put both your hands on your hips. Your floating hips should not be dropping as the other one's lifting. Try to keep them even, okay? Then 30 seconds in, we're going to switch legs. There we go. Other side. Let's do the same thing. Squeezing your buns on the working leg and then pressing down with the outside of that knee on the floating leg. Getting a little opener of the hip, and also we're warming up the glutes and hamstrings, kind of getting that hip mobility. This is a great hip opener. A lot of us sit all day, so our hips get really tight. So this is a great one to do when your hips are feeling tight. Let's stand again for the next warm-up. All right, y'all. Next up, let's get into this curtsy lunge, yeah? It's called a curtsy lunge because it looks like a curtsy. We're just stepping back and across. Your weight should stay in your front leg, though. So keep your weight in that front leg, and you're dropping back and across, using balance if you can. Like, I like to go out here and just like, boop, like, you know, stick the landing there. Let's go ahead and switch sides. But if you need to, if the balance isn't that good yet, stick with just like putting one foot on the floor, stepping back out just like that, yeah? But if you have it in you, do that balance. We're going to do 20 on one side, 20 on the other, and then let's take it across, and we're just going to switch sides, going from one side to the other. As you go, think about jutting your hip out, boom, out to the side, pow, just like that, pow. Throw that hip out there, show them what you're working with, you know what I mean? Throw that thing out there and get a nice little kind of stretch as you throw that hip out there. That's the point of it, not to just show them what you're working with. But you never know. Sometimes you got to show them what you're working with. All right, in 3, 2, 1, we're going to go into arm swings. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and swing those arms and hips. This is the one where we're like the failure to launch one, right? Like you're about to launch through the ceiling. Yeah. That's how I want you breathing on this one. Nice breath in as you come down and exhale as you pop up. Just really getting some oxygen flowing to that brain and those muscles. We got 30 seconds here. Then we're going to add that little chop to the side. So from here, you're going to drop it down to the side like you're grabbing something and chucking it over your shoulder. Like you're grabbing a bucket of water and just chucking that thing over your shoulder. Yeah. Yeah. Same breathing. Yeah. Through these dynamic warm-ups, ideally you are taking some nice big breaths in, getting some oxygen going in your system. Switch sides. Most of us don't breathe enough all day. We kind of do that tight chest, shallow chest breathing all day. So use this opportunity to take some nice big breaths. And let's switch it up and get some hips going. All right, we're going to take 2 big steps to your left and then drop it under. And then 2 big steps to your right. And then drop it under. Imagine you got a nice big box. You're just trying to step over that box and then step under a fence. 2 big steps over, 2 big steps under. Now we're moving kind of side to side, getting that frontal plane movement, getting that lateral movement in. We often just move front and back like that sagittal plane. So we're going to changing up the movement here a bit. Just your body is built dynamically. It's built to move dynamically. So let's move dynamically. Yeah, nice. Wow. As we go through this, see if you can step higher. See if you can drop lower. Wow. Nice big drop in there. I like to kind of sweep my arms across the ground and get as low as I can and like brush the ground. Good. Let's go 1 more each way. Yeah. And then we'll go to some single leg hand walkouts coming up next. All right, single leg hand walkouts. We're going to get on that one leg, work on that balance, get into your single leg dead, and then just walk it out. Remember, if you don't have the push-up yet, don't sweat it. Just roll your body back up and then walk it back. If you're still building the strength to do, push back on 2 legs, and 1 leg is too much for you, stick to 2 legs on this. I add this single leg variation for a little bit of variety, so you don't get too bored with the hand walkouts, but you don't have to do it. Right? Do what you can. Do what you can. So we're just going to do 1 more, and then we're going to go ahead and switch legs. And let's go ahead and switch it up. Other side, same thing. Nice little single leg dead. Getting that hamstring and glute active. Keep your core tight. Remember, we don't want saggy cores. Don't want saggy low backs. So keep your abs nice and tight so you're in a plank the whole time. Let's do a couple more, and then we will move on to the next. But nice little shoulder work, nice little ham and glute work, and as always, some nice core work. Good. 1 more. Whack it out. Yeah, push it up. And we've got some shuffle squats next. All right, these are kind of fun. You're just going to shuffle from one side of your mat over to the other and hit a nice little squat. Now, I want you touching the floor each time. None of this shallow squat shit. Keep your chest high, drop your butt, and shuffle it side to side. That's it. Get a nice little push, 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 and drop. Push, push, push. None of this little stepping to the side. Try to keep your hips facing forward. What I often see people try to do in this is turn their hips the direction that they're shuffling. And then they just end up running to the side. Don't run sideways. Keep that shuffle in, that frontal plane movement. Like I said, our bodies need lateral work. This is that little bit of lateral work, waking up those lateral movers, right? And this should be starting to warm up right about now. We got a minute of these, just back and forth. Great for getting the heart rate up a bit. Squat, shuffle, squat. Perfect. Not yet. We got a good 10 seconds. I think I can count. I don't know. You got 10 seconds left. And then we're going to finish up with some jumping jacks before we get into core. All right, let's go jumping jacks next. All right, last but not least, jumping jacks. Little jumping jackies. Hey, if you need low impact options, step it side to side just like so. But if not, get your ass moving. Get your ass jumping. That's it. Just jumping jacks. These dynamic warm-ups are literally just to warm you up. Should be nothing too intense. I know some of you guys are like, but Josh, I want to work out all the time. I need that fitness. Yeah, I know. But we need consistency more than intensity right now, especially on like weightlifting 101, the beginnings. Go ahead and switch it, front to back jacks. Well, I just call them front jacks, but front to back, But yeah, consistency is our focus, right? If you're getting going, that is the biggest skill that you can learn right now is showing up every day. And you can't go hard every day. If you do, your body will break down. I'm speaking from experience. Going too hard all the time, your body will break down and then you'll be on the sidelines for days, weeks, or months. So work on this consistency. All right, let's get into some core next. All right, we're on the floor for crunchies. Yes, they're also known as crunches if you're an adult. But I like to say crunchies. It's more fun to say crunchies and do crunchies. Yes, it's fun to do voices. I don't know why. It's just fun to do because it makes it. It's like fitness is so serious. Like people are like fitness, raw, and it's so serious, but it doesn't have to be because you can do crunchies. Another 10 seconds, and you know what we got up next? Reverse crunchies. This one is just like the regular crunch, but it's coming from the bottom. So instead of curling your spine down, you're going to curl your spine up from the bottom. And again, if you want to make them harder, make your legs longer. And you can go all the way up if you want to make them harder still, just like this, like whoop. Yes. But reverse crunch. No, okay, I'm done. I know half of you guys are like, this idiot, what is he doing? I just want to work out and he's going crunchies. But, it's all good fun. Let's switch it up. All right, we're done with the crunches. We're going to a seated twist. So you're in kind of this V-sit pose, heels on the ground or off the ground, but I leave them on the ground here. And this is a nice slow reach back. So you're reaching that arm back behind you. Each time you return, pull up tall, lifting through the chest, reaching back. Okay, I'll stop that. I promise. Well, at least for now. And you're reaching back and you're twisting, opening up. Lean back as much as you can. Really get those abs engaged for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go into a side plank. All right, side plank position. We're going from the bottom knee, tapping and squeezing, lifting up. That top leg is going to be hovering. Your bottom shoulder is pulled back and down. Now, if it's too tough for you to hover this top leg, you can leave it on the floor. Yeah, just like that. Just like that, right on point there. You can leave it right there, or you can lift it up. This is a little bit tougher, but it's great for the hips, the obliques, and the shoulders. Make sure you're using your lats by pulling that elbow down towards your knee. And we're going to switch sides in 3, 2, 1, flip it over. And same thing, other side. Let's go ahead and get into it. Again, if you can't, kick that leg up nice and tall. I had to reset my elbow there because I want to be able to pack that shoulder blade. So really pull down the entire time, right? So, I know side planks from the feet are a little bit tougher, but from the knees here, this is a different kind of, it's more of a hip dominant plank as we're lifting and lowering. So if you're like, oh, this is too easy, you're actually, no, you're not saying it's too easy because these get hella spicy. Hang in there, one more, and then let's bring it to a hollow hold. All right, hollow body holds. We're starting with the knees in, arms go overhead, and kick the feet out. I'm squeezing my quads to lock my knees. Pulling down with the lats, arms are straight overhead, and you're scooping in, kind of hollowing out. If they are too tough, lift the legs and start there, but get the legs as low as you can. If your lower back should be pressed into the floor, if I were to come by and kind of try to shove my hand under your low back, it would not pass underneath there because you're scooped in for 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and sit up. Okay, we're flipping it over into the bird dog. So this is a very active exercise. Don't just reach out, reaching out in front, kicking out and back. Squeeze your entire core. As you reach, try to keep your pelvis neutral. Try not to let it the low back arch. And then reach as hard as you can overhead. Kick as hard as you can back. Your whole body should be firm and just make this exercise as active as you can using every muscle in your entire body. And rest. Just drop it down to the stomach. All right, so dropping all the way to your stomach. This is one where we lift the chest and thighs, sweep the arms back and behind, then bring it back overhead. Okay, let's get into it. Sweeping and rotating those shoulders. Da, 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 da. This is the Superman, so you're flying. You're flying high. Try to get those thighs high off the floor, reaching your knees up, lifting your chest, and then rotating those arms. If you can't quite cross them behind your back, that's fine and okay. Do the best you can. Just bring them down. We're going to go into a plank next, so come on up to the elbows. All right, elbows or hands, we're just going to do a single arm plank. It's going to be easier from the hands than the elbows, just like I'm demonstrating here. But if you can, try from the elbows. We're just going 15 seconds per side. Hold that plank. Hold that plank. We're going for 3, 2, 1. Switch arms, other side. Now, your hips are going to want to try to open up to the side. Don't let it. As you can see here, this is the elbow plank. I like to put the arm behind the back sometimes, but still hanging on there for 5, 4. Don't let it go yet. Don't let go. Hang in. All right, last one. Let's go to dead bugs. I have a pillow here, but you don't need one. But what you're going to do is you're going to press into your knee. Knee presses up into the hand, and then we're going to switch sides. Go nice and slow. No need to rush through this one. If you can go slower than me, kudos, do that. But we're just reaching out. Your goal is to press that knee as hard up into the hand as you can. You know, I know this is our first time through, but the second time, if you want to grab a pillow, you know, and try it with the pillow next time, feel free to do so. We got 5 seconds here, and we're going to start again from the top. We're going through this whole core routine. Let's start at the top with crunches. All right, y'all, we are back to the crunches. We're rolling the spine up again and just crunching up. So after those dead bugs, these should be nice and spicy. Getting those, you should feel that burn in the abs. Like, you know, we're going through the second round, and the rectus abdominis are those six-pack muscles that work to stabilize and curl the spine down, crunch the spine down. Those things have been working. They're working here with the crunches, and next up we got reverse crunches, so we're really going to light those things up. Okay? For 3, 2, 1, let's hit those reverse crunches. All right, reverse crunches. Just like the first one, but bringing it up from the bottom, tucking those hips up. Yeah, the abdominals work to control the pelvis a great deal, whether it's stabilizing or tucking or, you know, tilting either way. So that's what we're working on here, is tilting that belt buckle up towards you. I like to add a little lift to really get up in there, and really get those abs crunching. But again, up to you what level you want to take it to. Just curling that spine up from the bottom. We're going to go a couple more reps here, then we're going to sit up into the seated twists. Again, lean back. If you can, lift your feet off the floor. This one's a tough one for me to get the feet off, so I leave them right on the floor there. But really twist and reach as far back behind you as you can. As you fatigue, you're going to start slouching. So every time you come back to the middle, lift the chest, pull up tall to the top of the head, sit tall, and then reach back. Sit tall, and then reach back. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. Let's get one more, and then we're going to switch to side planks. Get in your side plank position next. All right, we don't take rest here. We just go from one exercise right to the next. Bang, bang, baby. No rest for the weary. Okay, remember, we've been working the rectus abdominis, meaning those six-pack muscles. Keep those tight while you drive that knee into the floor and lift up. Right now, the obliques on your right side, or whatever side's on the bottom for you, should be holding your ribs and your hips together. And every time you lift up, you're squeezing those oblique muscles, meaning those abs on the sides. And then we're going to flip to the other side. Let's go ahead and switch it. Cool. As soon as you get there, let's go ahead and get into it. You don't have to wait for me. Get going. You know what to do. Like I said, we don't take breaks. We got 10 minutes of straight up abs. I want to keep the abs under pressure, under tension the whole time, because you know what this is. Like, we do the warm up, then we do the ab work, and then we do the cool down. So you just have 10 minutes of like solid work here. So don't slack ass on it. You know we got recovery coming for the last 10 minutes of the workout. So put in that work, kid. Put in that work. Let's go to the hollow body hold. Scoop it in. Get those arms overhead. 1, 2. Kick those legs out long and breathe. Little short breaths into the chest because like your abs are tight, right? Just little short breaths. Each exhale. Think about ratcheting down your abs. Like if you had a dial on your abs. Every tighten, retighten, crank down on those abs. Keeping the low back pressed to the floor. Keep that tight. We're going to flip it over for bird dogs next. All right, bird dogs, bird doggy, down, bow, wow, wow, yippee. You know this one. Come on, reach it out, and bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, bow, wow, wow, bird doggy, down. Come on, keep that thing going. The abs are tight, reach it out. Yeah, no, I'll stop singing. I promise. I lied. Down, down. You're almost done. Keep going. All right, take a break. Drop it straight to your stomach, and we're doing the prone snow angels again. Starting flat, lift the thighs, lift the shoulders, sweep them back. And it's just like you're making a snow angel, but you're face down. So this is a savage snow angel, right? Like, you let the weenies lay in the snow, face up, do those snow angels, make them nice and cute. But no, we go face down, face full of snow, because we don't care. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm delirious. But you're working hard, so I love it. All right, that's enough rest for you. Bring it up to a plank. If you can, lift that one arm. Now, I give you the single arm plank as an advanced modification. If this is too hard for you, please feel free to do just a normal plank, especially the second time through when your ass is tired. Switch hands if you're doing one arm. This is an advanced option. If you're really struggling with this too, try taking your feet wider. If your feet are narrow, it's really hard to not tip over in this. So hang in where you can, get in where you fit in. We've got our last exercise with dead bugs. Flip it over to your back. All right, whether you have the pillow or not, again, we're pressing into the hands with the knees. Reaching long isn't that hard, right? Reaching long, keeping your abs together. To make this as challenging as possible, drive that knee as hard as you can up into your hand. See if you can hold and create as much pressure there as possible. I'm using the blade of my hand to hold that pillow to my leg, because then I can't grip the pillow and hold it onto it with my hand. I have to use the pressure. So I have to increase my pressure to push and hold that up there for 3, 2, 1. Let's recover. All right, y'all. We're going to get into a seated position. Feet are wide. And you're going to start leaning to your side. Big breath in and big breath out. I've got my left arm sliding inside my thigh and down to the ankle. I've got my right arm reaching up overhead. If you're super bendy, you can take that top arm and kind of reach towards your toes. Reach your toes. I'm reaching towards the toes. That's actually pretty good for me. Yeah, that's actually pretty darn good. 40 years old, reaching over, I can actually touch my toes. That's pretty good. And then we're going to switch into the other side, right? So just taking that slide down and then reach up and over. Now, I was speaking too soon because I can barely reach on this side, which is quite normal. If a lot of people expect that you can do one, because you can do it on one side, you can do it on the other. Look at me. Look, this arm is right up in the air, like I'm asking a question. Teacher, pick me, right? I'm not reaching my toes here. All right. From there, let's go hands and knees. All right. From that kneeling position, we're going to kick your left leg out to the left. And then we're just going to rock back and forth. Do your best to keep that left heel glued down. So your foot is firmly placed on the floor, and you're just going to rock back and forth with that foot placed there. Now, your other foot, your toes can be underneath you, or you can kind of put the top of your foot towards the floor like I have mine here. But we're just rocking back and forth, loosening up them hips, putting some WD-40 on them hips and shoulders, just rocking back and forth. And then do one more, and we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Yeah, my friend always says, WD-40 kicks rid of any squeaking. Anytime you got some squeaking or some stiffing, put some This is like our WD-40, right? Doing these exercises, doing these movements, this mobility practice. This is our WD-40. Oh, it's just delightful. And we got one more back and forth, and we're going to sit down with our feet in front of us for some 90-90s. All right, feet seated. We're just going to rock them out to one side and the other. Remember, pull that knee up and then rotate over rather than just turning the hips and doing both at the same time. If you need to, put your hands back behind you. That gives you a little more space if you have very tight hips. putting your hands behind you. But you're trying to push up as tall as you can. Eventually, over time, as you practice, you open up the hips a little bit more and you can sit taller into the 90-90 hip rotations. That's just like as your hips get better. Like I was training with my client today and he was like, dude, I can actually sit up doing these now. I'm like, yeah, I know. We've been practicing. And he's like, yeah, but I couldn't do it without my hands before. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. It's just, progress. He's like, dude. I said, dude. No, I mean, we don't really talk like that, but it's just fun to say, dude. It's a sign, he was just excited because he was like, yeah, my hips are getting better. I'm like, dope, man. All right, we're gonna stay here into this 90-90. We're gonna add a bridge to it. All right, same thing. So we're gonna get into this 90-90, but then we're gonna push up to a kneeling bridge. You're going to sit back down, flip sides. And if you see me, I'm using my hands for these first couple. Well, actually, for the first one I did. Ideally, though, you don't have to use your hands. So you flip over, and then you, boom, drive up to that bridge position. If it's too tough for you right now, which it may well be, because this is a tough exercise if you don't have the hip mobility. And if you don't practice this, it's probably pretty darn tough. But we get better at what we practice, and use your hands as you need to, right? You do notice I add a little bit of a lean forward. So I kind of lean over my knee, bridge up, drop down, and go back. When you get to the top, squeeze your buns to open up those hips. Squeeze them buns. Oh, yeah. We got 10 seconds to go, and we'll finish this one out. And we're going to finish after this next one. We're going to stay in this kind of kneeling position, and we're going to kind of open up the hips. From that kneeling position, tuck the hip under and then rock back and forth. So what I'm doing is pulling forward from that front knee, letting that trailing leg trail back behind me. Now what I'm doing there, we don't want you to arch your back. Keep your pelvis turned under and just reach forward. So your abs are kind of tight, supporting your pelvic position, and you're just rocking back and forth. You should feel this through the front of your hip on that trailing leg, maybe down through the groin. And as you can see, I've also added the arms here. Just sweeping up. Big breaths in and out. Let's switch legs. We'll go 30 seconds on the other side. Same thing. Secure your pelvis with your abdominals and just rock back and forth. I like to squeeze my butt on the leg that's on the downside because that your glutes are hip extensors. They work to extend the hip. And this exercise is a hip extension exercise. So use the glutes to extend the hip as we also pull forward. All right, let's do one more, then we're going to go flat down on your stomach. All right, from this face down position, hands are out wide, kick it up and over your body. Keep both of your shoulders glued to the floor, okay? So as you kick, your shoulder doesn't lift up, not yet. You're going to take a breath in the middle, exhale as you kick, and we're rotating through that spine, opening that hip. Big breath in the middle. Exhale as you kick. Remember to breathe while we do these. When you hold your breath, your body holds tension. When you breathe, your body allows it to relax. Now we're going to start adding a shoulder stretch. So as you kick, take that same side arm and open up towards the ceiling. So as the left leg comes across the body, open up and reach that left hand towards the ceiling. If you want more of a stretch, take that bottom hand up a little higher, that hand that's on the floor. If it's too much of a stretch, bring that hand a little bit lower. Good. We've got 5 seconds, and we're going to stay here on our tummies for a Sphinx stretch. Yeah. All right, we're back into the Sphinx stretch. So getting your hands kind of really close to your body. Hands are kind of either side of your face, and we're pressing down with our elbows and lifting up. Taking a big breath in as you come face to floor, and then exhaling. That's my exhale sound. It's windy. We're exhaling as we lift up. Sorry, I told you, it gets weird sometimes, This should feel nice through the spine and also through the abdominals. It's a nice kind of crunch back for the spine, just kind of getting that thing moving in a safe position. It's like we're leaning back, but we're on the floor, so it's fine. Think about also squeezing your butt to keep your hips pressed into the floor as we go, okay? So your hips shouldn't be leaving the floor. Your butt should be squeezed, kind of pressing your hips down, and we're getting all that mobility through the spine. Good, just 7 more seconds to go. And then let's bring it up to hands and knees. All right, from that kneeling position, we've got scap push-ups or scapular push-ups. Your scapula are your shoulder blades. We're just squeezing your shoulder blades together and then spreading them apart. If you'd like, you can go from the toes. That is aggressive, though. If you're just a beginner, if you're new to this stuff, this can be too aggressive. So start from the kneeling position. This is kind of more of a workout for those shoulder blades, the serratus anterior and the rhomboids in the middle of the back. So just going from hands and knees kind of focuses more on the mobility. Either way, you're getting the same work. One's just a bit more higher demand than the other. You can see here, I just went back to my knees because I was like, man, that's getting tough. So we're just working on getting those shoulder blades moving. Like I have clients that sometimes I'm like, hey, squeeze my fingers with your shoulder blades, and they can't actually do it. So some of you may have trouble squeezing your shoulder blades back in together, but keep going, keep trying. And then we're going to shoulder cars next. So stay in this kneeling position for 3, 2, 1. Let's go to shoulder cars next. All right, from that kneeling position, we're going to take one arm up and spin it around back. And we're going to bring it back the same way we found it. Now, we're focusing on internal and external rotation here. So as I lift up thumb towards the ceiling, I'm going to rotate in, turning the hand down, turning, until when I get it back to my hip, my palm is facing out and away. And then we reverse that, turning until the thumb is facing back up. So as we move and turn, we're trying to reach that thing as high as it will go, reaching into the end range of motion at that shoulder, reaching it as far as it'll go. So you find where it kind of wants to stop, and you lean into that range of motion, kind of scraping the edge. That's what we're doing as we're rotating. We're scraping the edge of the glenohumeral joint or the shoulder joint, that shoulder socket. Yeah, 5 seconds left, and then we're going to switch and do the other side. So stay in that kneeling position. Let's switch hands. All right, same thing, other side. We're just going to spin it up and around. Now, do your best to keep your shoulders square to the floor. Like, what I mean is don't let your body rotate open. Try to keep your entire body as stable as possible and get all of your motion from that shoulder. If it helps, squeeze your fist, create some tension in the arm. Actually, that does help. Not if it helps, that does help. And rotate that arm around. Good. Remember, try to get it up as high as you can. Try not to bend the elbow so your arm is staying as straight as possible. Your shoulders are staying squared to the floor. Yep. And we're just taking that arm up and around, trying to get a little bit bigger if it'll go. Otherwise, just, take it to the edge and just move through that end range of motion. That is just what we're going for here. So you don't have to do anything crazy. It shouldn't hurt too bad. Maybe slightly uncomfortable, but not too bad. All right, stay here because we're going to go hit those hips with the hip cars. All right, with the hip cars, we're doing the same thing just at the hip joint. Trying to work on rotation while going through our end range of motion. So it's going to look like that. We start off pulling the knee up and in, kicking it out to the side, and then rotating it all the way around the edge of the range of motion. Then kicking up, opening the hip up, and pulling it back. So just as you can tell, mine don't move very well, so yours probably looks a lot better than mine. But we're just trying to get to our end range and lifting that leg out to the side as high as it'll go. As you can, as you lift out, internally rotate, turning the knee down, the foot goes up. And then we're going to externally rotate on the way back around. Yeah, taking that thing as high as it'll go. If your leg goes further out to the side, that is terrific. That's what we want. We want that leg coming out and away from the body. Like I said, I'm not a great model for this one because my hips are crunchy. Let's go ahead and switch sides. All right, other side, we're taking it up and swinging that thing up and around. Good. And then kicking up and back, externally rotating, bringing it back to the front. Excellent. Knee up and in. Internally rotate as we take that leg out to the side, swinging it around. I kind of use the knee as like the focal point, is how much can I move that knee around? Like how wide can I lift it out to the side? How high can I take the knee back behind me? And as always, without arching the low back. Is your low back wiggling around? We want to keep the pelvis in position. Keep your abs tight. Keep the pelvis in position. And then we're trying to move the femur or the upper leg bone. We're trying to move that around inside of the pelvis joint. Good. We've got 13 seconds left on this one. We're going to keep rolling. Just a few more. Good. This should be like the last rep. We're just taking it up and around, and then let's bring that up, around, and back. And that is it for today.